Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into one of the most bizarre, brilliant, and downright audacious deception plans in military history. Imagine this. It's 1943, the height of World War II. The Allies are planning a massive invasion of Sicily, a crucial stepping stone into Fortress Europe. But there's a huge problem. The Axis powers, particularly Germany, know Sicily is the most logical target. It's heavily fortified, and a direct assault would be a bloodbath. The Allies need a way to convince Hitler himself that they're going to attack somewhere else entirely. So, what's their solution? A dead body. Yes, you heard that right. This is the incredible true story of Operation Mincemeat, a plan so audacious it sounds like something straight out of a spy novel. The masterminds behind this were a small, creative team from British naval intelligence, led by Ewan Montague and Charles Cholmondeley. Their idea was simple in concept, but incredibly complex in execution. They would find a corpse, dress it up as a British officer, plant fake top-secret documents on it, and then set it adrift to wash up on the shores of neutral but pro-German Spain. The hope was that Spanish officials would find the body, discover the documents, and pass them straight to German intelligence. The first challenge was finding the right body. They couldn't just use anyone. The cause of death had to be consistent with someone who had drowned after a plane crash. After a search, they found the body of Glyndwyr Michael, a homeless man who had tragically passed away after ingesting rat poison. The coroner noted that the fluid in his lungs was consistent with drowning, making him the perfect, albeit tragic, candidate. With the utmost respect, they gave this anonymous man a new identity, a new life, and a pivotal role in changing the course of the war. He was reborn as Captain, Acting Major, William Martin of the Royal Marines. This wasn't just a name. The team built an entire life for Major Martin. They created a believable backstory, a personality. He had a fiancée named Pam, whose loving letters and photograph were placed in his wallet. He had ticket stubs from a London theatre, a letter from his father, and even a slightly overdue bill for an engagement ring. Every single item was meticulously crafted to paint a picture of a real, living, breathing person. This level of detail was crucial. If the Germans suspected for a second that Major Martin was a fabrication, the entire plan would collapse. Now for the most important part, the documents. Tucked inside a briefcase chained to Major Martin's wrist was the bait. It was a personal letter from Lieutenant General Sir Archibald Nye to General Sir Harold Alexander, who was in North Africa. The letter casually mentioned, in a way that seemed natural between two high-ranking officers, that the Allies were planning to invade Greece and Sardinia. Sicily, the letter hinted, was just a feint to draw German forces away from the real targets. Every word was carefully chosen to be utterly convincing. They even added an eyelash to the letter to see if it had been opened and read. On April 30th, 1943, the British submarine HMS Seraph surfaced off the coast of Huelva, Spain. The crew gently lowered the body of Major Martin into the water, wishing him farewell and good luck. Now, all they could do was wait and hope the current would carry him to shore, and that their carefully laid trap would be sprung. A few hours later, a Spanish fisherman discovered the body, and just as planned, the local authorities were alerted. The British vice-consul in Huelva was notified and, playing his part, began making a fuss about retrieving the briefcase, emphasizing its importance. This of course only made the Spanish more curious. The Spanish authorities, who had strong ties to the German Abwehr, the Nazi intelligence service, did exactly what the British hoped. They secretly opened the briefcase, photographed the documents, and then carefully resealed everything before handing it over to the British. The German intelligence network in Spain sprang into action. The photographed documents were rushed to Berlin and landed directly on Adolf Hitler's desk. Despite some initial skepticism from his own intelligence officers, Hitler was completely convinced. He bought the deception hook, line, and sinker. The fallout was immediate and dramatic. Hitler became obsessed with defending Greece and Sardinia. He ordered 2 panzer divisions to be moved from France to Greece. He diverted torpedo boats from Sicily to the Greek islands. He sent the veteran General Rommel to Athens to command the forces there. In total, thousands of German and Italian troops were redeployed, stripping Sicily of its vital defenses just weeks before the planned Allied invasion. The deception had worked better than anyone could have ever imagined. On July 9, 1943, Operation Husky, the Allied invasion of Sicily, began. The 150,000 Allied troops landing on the beaches were met with surprisingly light resistance. The defenders were disorganized and under-equipped, their best units having been sent on a wild goose chase to Greece. The conquest of Sicily, which military planners had feared would be a long and brutal campaign with massive casualties, was completed in just 38 days. Operation Mincemeat is credited with saving thousands, perhaps tens of thousands, of Allied lives. It was a staggering victory for intelligence and deception, a plan born from the minds of a few creative thinkers, executed with a dead body and a briefcase full of lies, had completely fooled the leader of the Third Reich. It demonstrates the incredible power of misdirection in warfare and stands as a testament to the ingenuity and courage of those who fought the war not just on the battlefields, but in the shadows. The man who was once the anonymous Glyndwyr Michael is now buried in Huelva, Spain, under the name Major William Martin. His headstone reads, "In part, he served his country in war and peace," a poignant tribute to the man who never was, but who played a crucial role in winning the war. What an incredible story, right? It just goes to show that sometimes the most effective weapon isn't a gun or a bomb, but a brilliant idea. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this story as fascinating as I did, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more incredible tales from history. Let me know in the comments what you think about Operation Mincemeat. See you in the next one.